Hello, Tabisi. Hello, Tisimaya. I'm just waiting for my guest. Sorry, starting slightly late. Thank you, Fair. Please, can you type out the session for today? Hello, my darling. How are you? Hello, everybody. Super Life Food, Niger. Thank you. Hello, Tomisi. Hello, Abike. Tomisi, thank you. Our host in Egypt. Nice to see you. Okay, we're waiting for a guest. I know she's sent me a message. I'm sure she's going to be on soon. So how is everybody? We were on here last year. Last month. We had a bit of a challenge last month. So, but I'm believing that everything will be fine today. Hello, my darling friend. How are you? Okay, so I'm really excited about today. Hello, Phil. Thank you for joining us. Why are you so fine? Please cut so for me. Don't say you're not serious. Even you yourself, Uncle. Don't say thank you. She hosted us in Egypt. Absolutely amazing family. Awesome family. Lovely family. Thank you so much. Super for trying to join. Okay, Mama, is that you? Okay, let me send you an invite. Yeah, just give me a minute. I'll send you an invite. I thought we were joining with Mrs. J. So let me just send you a request. Just bear with me. Thank you. Loving the frames. Thank you, my joins today. Then I'll send you a request. Mama, so we're waiting for you. Hello, Mama J. How are you?
I'm here. Good.
How
Can
are
you hear
you,
me?
Ma?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Excellent. Very good.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, okay, some people are saying 100%. Okay. So we're just gonna kick off. So excited to have you here, Ma.
I'm here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay. I don't even know where to start from. I've got so many questions. And I know that people are going to be joining us, and I know that people are going to be watching later on. So I've got my guest here. I'm always so proud, Ma, to tell people about your age. It's not so much about the age. It's just, it's just when someone sits with you, you're a wealth of knowledge, you're down to earth, you're very real, you know. You don't try and paint things the way they're not. And I absolutely love that about you, Ma, and so many other things. Hey, hello, Pastor Wally. Welcome, my brother. So today I've got an amazing woman that I absolutely adore. I honor you, Ma, and I honor so much that I've learned from you. I've got Mrs. Jibuno here. She's going to tell you about herself, made some of the things she's been able to do. So as we just diving into today, so I'm gonna say, tell us a bit about yourself, Ma. So like I said, my guest today, Mrs. Juvenile, is, in fact, what am I even saying, Mrs. Juvenile? Chief Mrs. We call her Mama G. So see, everybody saying hello, Mama J. Those are no. Hello, Mama J. So we call her Mama J. Tell us a bit about yourself. Now, I've said to everybody, you're 69 going on to 70. You glow. You have an amazing mind. When you talk about someone that has an amazing mind, very analytical, very intelligent. And one of the things that blew me up is you see all this talk that we talk about, menopause and, foggy brain and all that. I want us to talk about that. We're going to talk about that later on and how we can help women with all those things. But looking at our topic today, finding joy in living, a journey of wellness and purpose. Please tell us a bit about yourself, where you started from, where you were born, and then we'll just begin to throw in the questions as we go along. Over to you, Ma.
Do you know there's something else on my mind? As
Go on.
coaches, you start by asking me what's on your mind. So let me tell you what.
Yes.
So
What's on-
a few days ago, my daughter calls me and we were gisting and talking, and then she dropped that M word, and she says to me, "Oh, by the way, menopause is kicking me." I'm like, hold it there. Oh, yes, it's true. You are that age. Yes, it's true.
Oh.
Okay. So what are you doing? Don't go and follow Yibo and go and start taking estrogen injections and all that. Let me tell you what I did though, because I did not see menopause. Okay.
Oh,
So I was
wow.
so fortunate in my life that I found what I am.
Ha. You mentioned that thing to me, and I'm still trying. I haven't tried it. So when you say water yam, what do you do with what I am for menopause? Hello, sis. Sayemi Akindele. She's just joined us. Lovely, 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 sis. Go on, Ma. I don't know if you know her,
So
actually.
so when I found water yam, I found it as a pill in America, right? And I bought it and I was
Wow.
in, came back to Nigeria, went to the market, bought water yam, learned how the Yorubas do it as a kokore, and
Yes.
in the thing. And that was it. I didn't see menopause.
Wow.
You know, all that during that period, I always will leave a bottle of water and some ice beside my bed, so that if I felt uncomfortable at night, I'll just take ice, chew it a bit, or drink water, and that was it. So I
Mm.
everybody, please make water yam your friend. I remember saying this about 10 years ago to a girlfriend of mine, and she says to me, a younger girlfriend of mine, and she says to me, eat yam so that I'll grow fat. I said,
That's what I was thinking. That's probably why I haven't gone to get it.
anyway, I am Elizabeth. I am Elizabeth Jibono. I was actually born at Oyo, you know,
Mm.
on that beautiful day. I understand from the stories told around my birth that as my dad was going home
Mm-hmm.
right after my birth, that he killed some animal, a horo or a horo,
Oh,
something like that.
oh, yeah. That's a deer, isn't it? I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And he carried it home. He actually stopped and took it into his car and carried him home. He was a surveyor at the time and he was in charge of the West. So he was resident at Oyo and
Okay.
he was a big man. He was a well-known guy.
Mm.
So he took this animal home, and it was that animal that they used to celebrate my birth. So I came into abundance,
Wow.
right? Possible it's possible that that's where I get all this my abundant mindset from,
Mm.
because looking at the whole of my life, right, I cannot tell you that I've ever worried about things not being there or poverty or whatever. I
Mm.
remember last year somebody called me and said, "Don't come back from America. Nigeria is messed up. There is no onion, no tomatoes." And I'm like, okay. Now I've been in America. How many tomatoes did I eat? And how many? Why would I come back to my country? But let me take you back to the journey of my
Mm.
beginning, right? From the time I was born, I don't recollect my early beginnings at Oyo, but I recollect my beginnings at Enugu, So
Okay.
I was a bit of a free spirit,
Mm.
a very, very high spirited young girl, unstoppable. Um, you will catch me climbing trees, walking the streets in GRA in Enugu at the time. So I would say that looking back now, I had a really, really privileged upbringing, because I grew up with white people being our neighbors and made friends with them and all that kind of
Right.
thing, and therefore imbibe some of those Oyibo kind of, world view. So I
From a
would
young age.
I would use the library with them.
All right.
I read a great deal. I was exposed to the dolls.
Yeah.
Not mine, but our neighbor's
Neighbors. Yeah.
daughter. So I would have afternoon
Mm.
tea, and so so quite frankly, I should be spoiled.
Yeah.
But I look at myself and I wonder, why aren't you spoiled? Why aren't you? Why aren't you? But I was so grounded, in
Mm.
everything that I did at the time. So I was able to collect two worlds together
Mm.
nicely. So I
Mm.
didn't get carried away with this one. I understood my world, and I also cherished the other new world that I was affiliated to. And
Mm.
growing up, I kind of waltzed in those two worlds.
Mm.
Without
Mm.
losing the essence of my world
Mm.
and without fully losing myself in that other world. So that really colors my upbringing.
Your
Yeah.
upbringing. And, thank you for that, Ma, because for me, I think you explaining that gives a lot of explanation into the fact that you're quite balanced. So, what do I mean by that? Irrespective of whatever age group, whatever race, whatever culture, whatever background, there's just something to always learn or to glean from you, from my experience. I've seen you with people from different cultures, different races, and there's a way you just balance everything and you make everybody feel relevant. And I think that's a very good criteria for a coach. Caroline said, still the same, unstoppable. And I totally agree because I was actually smiling when she said that. And, just further to emphasize the fact that truly you are still unstoppable, you were sharing with me what happened to you from when you had to marry and then you dropped out of school. Share with us, please, how you go back into school and all the things you did till you graduated. Because I'm still thinking, it's really, it has to be a mind that is very focused and determined to be able to achieve that.
So let me take you to my final year in secondary school,
Okay.
right? So I was so eager to please my father.
Hmm.
We were quite close. We were close because I was a very troublesome child, right? But he
Believe.
also recognized that I had some intelligence in me, right?
Mm, mm,
Made things like, if you just slow down,
mm,
learn, put your face into your work,
mm,
you will excel. And I will always tell him, don't worry about me, I'm going to excel. He said, I truly want you to excel, you know. And you can make a grade one. In my days, making a grade one, it didn't even matter whether you had the 5 papers to enter the university. If you had a grade one with 4 papers, everybody will be, the drugs will be. So my was so fixated on this, his grade one, make me a grade one, make me a grade one,
mm.
I got into it, and I was so determined to come out of school with a grade one. However, on the day my first paper for my WAEC was being
Sorry,
written, I
Mr. J, can I just ask, so for those who are not of that time, so what, for example, will be the equivalent of a grade one so people can understand what you're talking about?
would consider it the top degree from a
Okay,
secondary. So that's
okay, maybe like an A or A star, something like that now. Okay,
right.
okay, so top degree. Okay,
The WAEC is the West African
yes,
examination certification that you needed to be able to now get into the university. Yeah.
university. Okay, yeah.
So on the day that my first paper was supposed to start, I decided I'll go. My father was in the hospital at the time. He had been feeling poorly. So I decided I'll go and see this guy, and just give him assurances and, Daddy, don't worry. I had seen him 2 days before in hospital. But what made me leave school? Actually, I snuck out of school.
Mm.
Why today, I don't know. But there was something in me that felt, let me connect with daddy before I start my exam so that I'll just tell him, don't worry, I'll be good, right? So I
Mm.
get in the hospital and I didn't see him in his room. It was around 5 a.m. I was all dressed in my school uniform, ready for my exams. But I snuck out. I told you I was a very troublesome child. So,
I can't imagine.
so I didn't break rules. I didn't break rules like most of the girls did. But I knew how to break the rules. And that
Mm.
morning, I went to the hospital and I found a nurse and I said, well, I've come to see my father in that room, but I don't know where they have moved him to. And she looks at me funny and then looks at another nurse and says to the other, isn't that the man that died that night? You know.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm looking at two of them and thinking they can't be talking about my father.
Mm.
And I turned around and left the hospital, went back to school, right? And I wrote the first exam. And around midday, my brother comes and was accompanied by a teacher to come and call me that the principal is looking for me, that my father is very poorly. And I'm thinking in my head, oh, guys, come on, guys. I know the man is dead. But
Oh
you see,
wow.
the shock, you know, kind of bottled my emotions down, put a cap
Mm.
on emotions. Because I had something to do. I had a mission. I had to get
Mm.
that birth certificate for my father.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it's for me, his dying wasn't a priority. I had to do what I had to do. But then when they now told me, when I go home and they told me that he had passed and there was no reaction from me, everybody now panicked, said, no, 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 this is not normal. We're going to keep her home and watch her. What that decision meant was that I now missed a couple of papers,
Mm.
didn't write some papers, but then by the time I now got back, I knew I wasn't going to make a grade one. So a
Mm.
functionary wrote the other papers, knowing I haven't made my grade one, right?
Mm.
Third. The exam, the results came out. I took my certificate and I went to the next school in some village school somewhere and registered to write the same exams to the chagrin of everybody. You're good. You make your papers. You can get into the university. But no, that's not what I wanted to hear, right? And I
Wow.
and at this time, I was now beginning to evaluate what I wanted to do with life. I've lost my father. I have
Mm.
a mother, right? My other sisters are no longer around. My brothers are not around. So I have that close proximity with my mom, and I'm now expanding my worldview, my vision in life. So I now decided, you know what? If I read economics, right, I can make some money because I was an art student and I didn't have economics in my kitty. So I picked up economics
Oh.
in my last year in this new school, and I made an A in that paper, and I got my grade one. In any case, and older students in class then, and they flogged me because I was too shishy. I wouldn't play, I wouldn't talk to anyone,
Mm.
and they didn't like that. Nobody,
Mm.
teachers then, who is she? Who does she think she is? They thought I was a little bit arrogant, but it wasn't arrogant.
Arrogance is
Focus. Knew what
yeah.
I knew what I had to achieve.
Mm.
So that was my experience. So I collected
Mm.
the experience from my first secondary school
Right.
and all that, packaged it, and now I've got admission to go and read law at the University of Ife. In Well, just before I got in, I met a guy, who kind of dazzled me, right? And by the time I now got into the university, a deed that was done now manifested, and I found myself in a kind of a little bit of a pickle, right? So, so well, something had to be done, and I gave up my education
Mm.
to now start, right? So that was that trajectory, right?
Okay. So this was you having to. So you got into marriage, is that correct? And then you then started a family. Were you pregnant then? So you had to leave uni.
Oh,
So you couldn't even continue with uni.
so yeah, Pickle was the pregnancy, you see. But it's beautiful because I have a glorious daughter, you know. And
Bless
the
God
beauty
for
of
that.
that pregnancy is that 3 times we actually thought, oh, all right, okay, you want to go back to school. All right, let's do the date. Let's do what everybody else is doing.
Mm.
And three, we got to the door,
Wow.
right, of where another deed would have been done. And 3 times I said no, right? And that's
Wow.
to keep my first fruit, my first daughter. Three
Wow.
3 times. I said no. And we get there. I'll say to him, yeah, let's just go, let's just go. And then we get there, and then I'll change my mind 3 times, right? So of course, within, was it even up to 3 months? I don't think so. Of that first pickle and the bundle that came out, another pickle happened, you
Oh
know.
wow.
With
The pickles were coming quite quickly.
number 5 pickles, I tell you. So I had another bundle of joy. So I'm now here at this stage, 2 beautiful children, right? And I'm looking at myself and thinking, my father didn't send me to school to make grade one, to come and be pickling all over the whole place in this man's house. Like I said, um, I was at Ife. Okay, so let's backtrack 1 year.
Okay.
So after my first baby was born, I now tried to go back to Ife, and they said, "But you didn't matriculate. There's no way we can take you."
Mm.
So I said, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know the protocol.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I went
I wonder why we did matriculation then anyway. I really wonder. Sorry, go on, Ma. I was just
I went
thinking loud.
to school because I needed to go back to the university. And whilst I was in this night school, right, the second bundle of joy came. It didn't deter me. Um, the doer of the deed didn't know what I had. Well, I'll try to share it with him, but he wasn't listening. As far as it was concerned, I should be happy that I am in this glorious environment in Ikoyi. You should be living the life. But my head was still locked into my father's way.
Mm.
And because
Mm.
that I'll proudly say, I went to a night school in Lagos to freshen my mind and my intellectual capabilities away from marriage and children into
Mm.
where I can rewrite jam to get on with my life.
Mm.
So that was actually quite a big deal because he didn't know I was going to night school. I would leave at 4 o'clock. We lived at Ikoyi, and the school was on Broad Street, right?
Mhm.
Drive my car. I had a car. Drive the car, park it there. Now I'm pregnant again. By the way, I'm pregnant again. But I was going to this night school, right? And I had everybody sworn to secrecy at home, all the staff sworn to secrecy. Don't tell daddy. But then daddy doesn't come home early, right?
Mhm.
This particular day, he decided to come home early and gets back in and says, so where is she? Where is she? And they say, oh, Madam
Gone
went
to
to school.
school. So please, let me just paint a picture to everybody. So this is a married woman with 2 children, pregnant. She took herself back to night school. So you can see where it's meaning to say that you can see that Mama J is very different. I was even saying to her today that Pico 3, thank you, MC Louis. And you know what? I was even saying to her that I didn't even know that they had night school in Nigeria. She said yes, so that they used to have night school. So she went back to night school to refresh herself so she could take her jam.
So, but the thing is this, wrong head, that where I was in the
Mhm.
hierarchy I was in society at the time, how did I find a night school? So now this is where my curiosity in life came back in again,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
To research, I was asking questions until because I knew that there's no way I could go writing job and hope to pass. I knew it for it.
Mm,
I'd been
yes.
away from that intellectual space for quite some
Yeah,
time.
for a while. Yeah.
So with that, I now went and wrote my jam, right? And when I was filling out filling out my
That's all.
first choice university and my second, decided that there will be no place around, there will be it will not be possible for me to combine the home I was running, the
Mm.
management, high profile husband I was married to, with my education.
Amen.
So I did university around me in Lagos. I decided to choose a university very far away in Ilori. And at the time, I knew nobody in Ilori, didn't know anybody at all,
And you were
right? But
pregnant.
I was pregnant. I was actually pregnant for 2, right?
Wow.
When the exact results came out, I had passed, but at that time, unless you actually had long legs, Nigerian long legs,
Mm.
you must
Mm.
know in the university or in JAM that can now facilitate your admission that are coming out and all. So here am I now thinking about this thing. So haven't done all of this. These people are going to deny me admission. It's not possible now.
Mm.
Friend of my husband. My husband was out of town. I must confess. Well, now he will know. He will see this and he would. And I went to him and I said, "Oh, excuse me, sir. Yes, sir. Daddy is not around, but I got admission and Jambi saying I need a letter from the vice chancellor of the University of Ilori." The guy was at work. He was at work. So he wasn't internalizing what I was saying. He just wanted this pregnant woman to get out of his office. I was spoiling market for him because so anyway, he signed, and he was a very big man, very, very big man. So there was I went to Ido, and I hired a driver, put the driver in my 104, Peugeot 104, green, light color, lemon colored green, and we drove to Ilori. And I
Wow.
Ilori, I looked for the VC, I think his name is Daramola, Professor Daramola, and I waited for him, as say, well, he's waiting, come in. And this woman, I was 7 months pregnant, rolled in
Seven
and
months.
puts this letter on his desk. And he reads the letter. And then he looks at me. He said, "You, you want your Lagos?" I say, "Yes, sir." "You want to come to this university?" I say, "Yes, sir." He didn't argue. He just signed the letter, stamped it, and gave me. As I was leaving, he called me back and said, "Excuse me, you're pregnant, right?"
Please, can somebody help me type 7 months pregnant? I wanted to go to university with twins.
With
My
twins.
gosh.
So I say, "Yes, I'm pregnant." It's okay. I wish you all the best. So I now went back to Lagos and waited for daddy to come back, right? Daddy comes back. And I'm now looking at him like, "So welcome, daddy. How was your trip?" He said, "Trip was great." I said, "Welcome." I said, "By the way, I have an admission to the university." He's looking at me like, "This woman, really?" I said, he said, "You do?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "No, University of Ilori." He said, "What?" "In your condition?" I said, "Yeah, I am. I do. I have."
Wow.
So in any case, at that point in time, he was saying no, but he knew that I was already in Ilori. I had
Mm.
already myself inside Ilori. So within a month, he wasn't going to sponsor me. He told me that he wasn't going to sponsor me. I said, "Okay, what assets do I now have?"
Talk about
The only
determination and focus.
asset was a Singer sewing machine.
Machine. Wow.
I carried, and it was still brand new. I hadn't used it. It was one of the gifts they gave me when I got married. Right, my
Mm.
mom said, you have to be sewing. You have
Yeah. When you
to
get married.
mend you mend your husband clothes, you sew for your children. So I carried the machine, and I went to Habamakole in Yaba,
Yeah.
and I said to them, "So how is it?" And they said, 600 naira, and I'm like, "Okay, take it." So they gave me 600 naira, which was a lot of money. It was more like 800 pounds at the time, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I I'm looking at my husband. He didn't know what I'd done. So he's waiting. Let's see how you will go to this Ilori, right? So I went back again to Ido and took another driver, and they drove me again back to Ilori University. And I started my class. Everybody was looking at me. Within 2 weeks of going back to Ilori, the babies that were due in 6 weeks decided that they
Oh my
so
gosh.
I birthed them at Ilori. Now, I birthed them. I hadn't matriculated, but I knew I had to save them because the health facility at the time
Right.
wasn't up to par, and being twins, they were struggling.
Yes.
Came back to Lagos, sorted them out, but kept my ears on the ground at Ilori, right? And immediately they gave me the flag off that matriculation is happening. I said, Mama, oh yeah, we are going back to Ilori. My mother was looking at me aghast. Husband is looking at me aghast. The twins are
Wow.
here and there. And everybody was confused. How are you going to do this? And I said to them, watch me do it. I said, Mama, if you're not going, I'll go along with them because this has to be done. I must matriculate. And that's how I went back to Ilori with my mother. We had 2 Moses baskets. On the day of matriculation, we had 2 Moses baskets. My mother was carrying one, I was carrying one. And then after matriculation,
Please
I
put two
decided,
Moses baskets in the chat for more, please, because this is
yes,
just so astounding. I'm telling you, man.
2 Moses baskets made by a lady called Caro Ibro. She's still alive, very close friend of mine.
Wow.
And it was beautifully done. So once I finished the 2 semesters at Ilori, I knew I had to come back to Lagos because now I couldn't straddle the 2 worlds.
Yeah.
It was going to be.
Yes.
I had my mother who was whining at the time. What are you doing? I don't understand. Why you have a beautiful husband with 2 beautiful children. What
Yes.
are you doing here?
At home.
It became a bit much. So okay, fine. All right. We go to
But before you went back, so even during classes, I remember you said to me, like your mom will be at times sitting outside in the and with the baby. So they will bring one baby while you're in class, you will breastfeed, and you will breastfeed another baby. And your mom was with them, and you were doing that while you were in class. And there's a reason why I asked Mama J to share this with us because I was saying to her that, when we're determined, when we have a growth and a fixed mindset on a particular goal that we want to achieve, there's really nothing that can stop us.
that was
You are determined,
yeah.
your mom couldn't stop you, even your husband, and in the best interest. And it paid off because you were determined to get your education.
Yeah.
And the reason why I'm saying this, some people are going to come back and watch this, there is no excuse. That's what I'm basically saying. And some of the reason why I wanted to bring Mama J is there's really no excuse. Mama J is going to be 70 this year. She's going to tell you how she's just recently started a career.
Yeah.
She's just gone through a whole year of studying. And that is why I was so determined for her to come. We have no excuse. Age is not an excuse. Nothing, if we set our mind, can stop us. How do you explain that? In university with twins, your mother outside, you are breastfeeding one child, you will take another child out while you are in lectures. Come on.
And let me tell you what the universe does. Okay? So my mother is there under the mango tree, very close to the lecture halls, right? Because we moved from class. So I have better eye view of her. The twins are there with her. But however, whenever any of the twins is crying, sometimes mama will sleep off, right?
Mm,
Lecturers, the lecturers, because they are the ones standing up. So they are facing the mango tree.
yes.
We are back at the mango tree. Right. The lecturers will say to me, Iya Beji, Mama Beji. It be like say, coin they don't wake up. Right?
Wow.
And sometimes, because I'll be so tired, I haven't slept at night,
Mm,
he will send somebody in class to go and bring Kende into the class.
wow.
And I will
Wow.
breastfeed Kende and then take Kende back. And after a while, that, all right?
Wow.
So that's what we were doing. So the universe will help you in your determination.
Damnation.
The universe will
100%.
whatever it is you want to realize.
Wow.
Where is your focus? What is your focus? What do you want to do? Hold on to it. Be determined. Don't lose sight of that focus, and the universe will deploy. In my own case, they deployed. They de-
Please help me type someone. The university will deploy. When you are focus, please go on
yeah.
now.
And time I was done with the lorry, and I now made the decision I can't do a lorry and handle Lagos, because you can imagine what was happening. I had two children in Lagos, right? I had a home, I had a husband in Lagos, so husband alone. So that one was there. The
Exactly.
children was there. Home,
Husband in Lagos.
his job was suffering because his social life that will help to bolster his status in the office wasn't happening. There was
Yes.
no wife at home to give those
Yes.
cocktail parties, and in those days they were just so beautiful. And the right. So I now decided it's time to come back to Lagos. So what did I do? I came back. At that time, you couldn't get into the University of Lagos unless you had the president of Nigeria as your best friend or your brother. You could not get in. So I said, oh, okay, I can't ask husband now. Husband doesn't want me to go to school, right?
Okay.
So I got dressed that day. I remember I was wearing white. And then my husband had bought me a lemon-colored BMW,
Wow.
3 Series,
Hmm.
double exhaust pipes. So I put it on the
Double exhaust pipe.
double,
Please type that somebody.
double. And I rolled into Unilag and rolled into the arts department. School was on holiday, right? And I parked it in the car park. Asked somebody, where is the admissions office? They showed me. And I walked down that hallway. As I was walking down that hallway, there was this tall guy walking towards me, very skinny, tall guy. He was walking towards me. And I looked him in the eye. He looked me in the eye. He said, I said to him, good morning, sir. It was around 11 o'clock. He said, good morning. I said, I'm looking for the admissions officer. He says to me, go to that door. You just passed it. Go to that door. So I told, I said, I turned around, started walking back. Then I remembered my upbringing. Then I turned back. I said, oh, I'm so sorry, sir. Thank you very much. So to that office where he pointed and sat down. After some time, I heard somebody cough in the next room. And I heard the voice say, is anybody waiting for the admissions officer? I said, yes, sir. I carried my bag and I walked in. And there was this gentleman again.
Oh,
So I
wow.
greeted him. And he said, how can I help you? And I said, oh, yes, sir. I'd like to transfer to the University of Lagos. The man moved his chair back. He said, transfer from where? I said, from the University of Ilorin. He goes like this, looking at me, this woman, are you okay? And he says, why? I said, because I have 4 children. 2 of them are actually twins. And they are less than 1 year old. I have a husband in this high-profile job, and I have to manage all of them, but I must get my degree. The man looks at me. He said, you have twins? I said, yes, sir, I have twins. He said, I am a twin.
Oh, wow.
And that was it.
Oh, wow.
He,
See how the universe has just helped you. See how the Holy Spirit has just helped you. See how God has aligned.
exactly. So now the other thing is this: open your mouth and speak your purpose. A lot of people speak, they will close mouth. They
Child.
will ask you,
Closed mouth is a closed destiny.
they start giving excuses.
Closed
They will not.
mouth is a closed destiny.
Found out, Ronke, that being direct in life, speaking your truth, looking somebody in the eye and telling them what you are there for,
Wow.
right? It opens every single door. Every single door.
Wow.
That's so for the next 3 years, I was in the University of Lagos,
Pick the
right?
truth. Yeah.
Rolling from Ikoyi to Unilag, sometimes 3 times a day, because in those days, oh, well, actually, the road is like it is today. Today is beautiful in Lagos. You can drive anywhere. I drove to Yaba, I drove to Surulere, I drove to Lagos Island. It was beautiful. It just reminded me of those days, 40 years ago. So I could drive to Unilag, take the lectures in the morning, drive back, look after the children, go back again. I was just going backwards
Wow.
forward. And don't forget, I said, I had a BMW, lemon colored.
Color.
So all the policemen on the road between Ikoyi and Unilag, they knew. Once I'm coming, they say, clear way. Iyabeji is coming.
Please don't be type lemon BMW. Don't put Celeste. Yeah, babe, just come here. And I'm sure you would. Nobody will come. It's like there's no way that no people will experience your coming in contact with you that you don't leave a memory with someone. So I can imagine what memory will live with those people. And I just want
All
to bless God for your life.
policemen, they all knew me,
They will know
right?
you, man. They
So
will just be hailing you.
what I would do every celebratory period, right? I will cook rice and everything. She's coming.
Oh my gosh.
I'll take rice and be going. So once they see me, they'll be like, clear the way, clear the way.
Anyway, lemon BMW, yeah, bitch. Thank you so much, Mama. I knew today we were going to laugh very well when we knew that you were coming. Thank you so much, Mama J. Now, moving on because of time, please, you're going to bear with us today. I knew that having Mama J on here, we're going to exceed our 9 o'clock time, so please be prepared. And if we need to do a part two, we'll do a part two. I'm gonna get Mama J to probably come and share a few things about her because I know somebody asked a question about we're still looking at lemon BM. Please let me, you people, let me talk today, or else we'll be here, we'll be laughing. Somebody asked about menopause and yeah, so we'll talk about that. But I want us to focus on the discussion today. So we've heard, your background, Mama J. I want you to tell us how you got into the health and wellness space. What happened to you? Because I know that your story spans into there was a time where you found yourself in a wheelchair. Now she's no more in a wheelchair, but we want to know that story. What happened to you, and what has that done to you up until now that got you into that wellness space? So please share that with us.
So you see, Ronke, I am so happy that your topic today is about finding joy in living. My
Mm,
my life has been about living joy in my life. Living
mm,
in. There was not there's been nothing actually right. Every time I find it, I always say that people when they find lemons on their pathway in their life's journey, they turn it into lemonade. Me, I do not drink lemonade. My own is champagne. So for every time I turn my lemons into a sparkling champagne. Incredibly
Can somebody type that? I never heard that before until today. It's
incredibly
lemon to lemonade, I heard. Mama Jo's one is lemon to champagne, bubbly drink.
bubbly, oh, bubbly. Because you see, I find that in life, even when I was living that my life as I kept growing up, there was a lot of naysayers, a lot of limiting beliefs, a
Mm,
lot of people have that that outlook, that positive outlook to life. A lot of people that try to stop me, they're still trying to stop me even up till now. People, my friends will call me and say, "You're doing too
mm,
much. You're exercising.
mm,
You're not eating enough. You're not doing that." But I'm looking at them. I came out of the wheelchair. I'm now running. I can run. I can walk any day if I want to. I swim practically every day, sometimes every other day. Right? I
30
go to
laps.
the
You
yeah,
said you did yesterday.
I do 50 wrong care. When
Wow.
I shared with you that I did 30, I had done 30 in the morning. So between that
Wow.
one we had in the evening, in between sessions, in between our classes, I did another 30 laps, right? Even my son that was here, because he's been looking at us, you know how TC will keep us in class for the whole day. Now, he now saw me. I'm coming out of the pool. The next thing he saw me, I had changed. I'm coming downstairs and going back into. So he came to my office and stood by the door and says to me, "How do you do this?" And I said,
Wow.
"Do what?" Because I don't understand the question. Because I was just warming up. I was just warming up. But you see, you have to ask yourself, what do you want?
Mm,
First of all, who are you?
mm,
Do you know who you are? Then in now determining the
And
answer to,
whose are you? Go on, man.
you now ask yourself, what do you want? What is your spirit telling you about you? So my spirit never told me, slow down. It never did. My spirit never told me, don't do this, stop this, you're not capable. No, it never did. And even when it did, I will challenge it, I'll question it. Why are you telling me not to go today? Like this morning, when I got up after yesterday was brutal. You know how brutal it was. I woke up this morning at 6 o'clock instead of 5, and I sat up in my bed and I said to myself, must you work out today? Must you? You don't have to. If you don't, nothing will spoil. But having said that, by 7:10, I was in the car driving to the gym.
Wow.
Because it's become a habit. So how did I get into the wheelchair? I was rolling. I used to go to the gym at 5 a.m. I was fit. Nothing wrong with me. Then the only problem I had with my foot, maybe because I worked out too much and all of that, I had a bunion. You can Google a bunion. I had a bunion and it's been growing. So sometimes when we wear those, you remember those shoes of the 70s and 80s, they used to be pointy. They are back now,
Very.
right? Pointy. They are back now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the bunion will be hurting me. So I now decided, you know what, let's take out this bunion. So I go to England and they look at the bunion and say, it's not a problem, we can take it out, but you won't work out for at least 9 months. Like, say that again? No, sorry. It's only a bunion. I don't have to take it out. I went back to my life. And for another 9 years, I did not take care of that bunion until it got to the point where I couldn't wear a pair of shoes. So I had to do the surgery. Now, nothing wrong with the surgery. Surgery went fine. It was beautiful. But then 5 days after the surgery, I was now home. You know how they are in England. The day after, put your foot down, walk around. And then the day after, they send you home. They sent me home, and I got up at 5, about 4, 5 a.m. in the morning. And I couldn't use my crutches to the bathroom. I thought it was a joke. I was using, like at that time, I had stopped using one of the crutches. I was just using one. I couldn't use any. I was falling. So at the time I went back to the hospital, they said, oh, they looked at everything, nothing wrong with the surgery, but your arthritis, your double knees, they have just flared up, and your hip, because of the twins, I have a sore hip,
Yeah.
right? I call it that's how my baby is just sore, so that they can keep quiet,
Yeah.
okay? You tell it that it is a problem, it becomes a problem. So for me, it's not a problem.
Your declarations.
They said to me that I needed surgery. I needed to do a double knee replacement surgery and a hip replacement surgery if I
Oh,
wanted to walk.
wow.
So I now say to myself, you're not doing any more surgery. You did one that you didn't want to do for years. No more surgery. But then I couldn't walk. I became like a joke. I couldn't walk, right? So everybody gave up on me. Husband gave up, family gave up. Go and do surgery, go and do surgery. I said no. So they brought me back to Nigeria in a wheelchair. And then
Wow.
for a while, and then I said, okay, let me go back. Went back after about maybe 7 or 8 months. Went back, just at the door to the theater. I changed my mind. I said, I will not do. It's my body. I'm not doing it. However, I now had the rare privilege to go and visit my second daughter, who lived in Amsterdam at the time. And there I ran into a guy called Mr. Alec, who told me, nothing is wrong with you, it's just toxins in your body. That's how my wellness journey started. That's how my wellness journey started.
I
Mr.
I
Alec
remember. Sorry.
opened
Sorry, man. I
my,
remember you also mentioned before you go on that I can't remember where this came in. Was it during that period when you said that there was a time you were going to church and you were speaking to, um, I think was it the fathers in church or whatever, about saying that there's an emptiness in your heart and not finding. So was this after the accident or was this before? Because I know that there was a time you were also looking for what you've heard about about purpose in life, about, so was this during that time or was it after that time? Just to make that clear so I can just throw that in.
So before I told you that I was living a glorious life, right?
Mm,
I was living the life,
mm,
absolutely wrong with my life at the time.
mm,
But by the time the accident now happened, it slowed me down, right?
yes.
But
Mm-hmm.
even at that time, I wasn't thinking of purpose. I
Mm,
wasn't,
mm,
I was looking at a healing. So what am I going to do to be healed?
mm,
My mind was transited. I was still in my old self,
mm,
right? But eager to come out from where I was to
mm,
now get myself. Now, it was now when I got my healing and went back to my old life, wearing my high heel shoes,
mm.
doing all the things I was doing before. Then I now started asking myself, so what are you in this world for? Is it to be,
To be wearing high heel.
you
Mm,
understand?
yes.
That was that that transformation started happening in my
Mm,
mind. That was
okay.
asking deep questions myself.
Mm,
And I now took it to church.
mm,
And I'll ask my pastors, there is something I'm supposed to be in this world doing. I know I am waiting to do something, but I don't know what it is. Can you guys help me?
mm,
And they'll say, yeah, kneel down, let's pray. Kneel down. And I'll kneel down. We'll pray. Don't worry, you will find it. God will speak to you. And I kept waiting. I kept waiting. I waited 10 years. I waited 20 years. I was looking. Everywhere I went, I'll be looking. What is this thing? There's something I'm supposed to be doing.
mm.
So then your mind will tell you if you are living your purpose or not.
That girl,
Listen,
please help me type that. Someone, your mind would tell you.
mind will tell you. It doesn't matter how successful you are in your job. It doesn't matter how beautiful your life is. It doesn't matter how wealthy and abundant your life is.
Mm,
If you are living your purpose, your mind, your subconscious will tell you. That was what happened to me.
mm.
But then
Right.
I never found it from asking. I
Mm,
didn't find it. So I kept going. And I kept living this meaningless life, pretending to be happy. Of course,
mm,
I'll dress well, I'll go to party. Then it got to a point I stopped going to parties.
mm.
It excited me. I started disengaging. It didn't excite me anymore because I knew that that
There
wasn't the
was
life I
more
should.
to my life. Mm,
Now, how did I now know that my purpose has been found? I started living my purpose because I got into wellness.
that
I
is
started
why I
helping
put her.
people. I started helping people. Now, I didn't understand it was my purpose, right? But I was enjoying what I was doing. There
Mm,
was no money in it.
mm,
People will come here. Why don't you go to Lekki? Why don't you go here and go and get a big shop and do this your juice? But that's not what I want to do. I'm happy where I am. I'm
mm.
very, very
How did the juice come in? We didn't share how the juice came in. Because when you were in wheelchair, what helped you in the wheelchair?
so it was Alec in Amsterdam
Yeah.
that now he did introduce me to detox juices, right?
Mm,
He started me with it, but he kept me on the juices for 6 weeks.
mm,
But then I didn't work, and it was time to go back to Nigeria. So I went to him and I said to him, "So what do I do now?" So he says to me, "The belt that you live in West Africa has the best vegetables and fruits.
wow.
This is the percent. You have any problem, call me." I never called Alec because I came back and mile 12 and K2 became all of them. Everybody there became my best friends, right?
Mm,
Going myself, but I was sending people to the market. They were trucking in vegetables and fruits.
mm,
I was juicing based on this, concentration of titration of vegetables and fruits, right? So it's more vegetables than it is fruits, more vegetable. So by
very
the time
true.
I had now taken it in Nigeria for about 5 months, right? I got up one night and I felt I had strength in my knees and my legs I tried it, I didn't fall, right?
Wow.
However, because I knew my muscles were flat, I now started doing strengthening and lengthening exercises to
Mm,
help my muscles that were flat.
mm.
And in less than another 5 months, I was back on my high heels.
Wow. So for me, there's some things that I just thought to bring out. So for me, Alex was somebody put here, destiny helper, when you talked about the man that helped you with uni. It's almost like God strategically has placed people in your life at very significant, or pivotal periods. So, because someone like Alex, like that, because when I read your write up, so you had been in a situation where you had been sitting in the wheelchair all day, you had been, so for someone that's so active, you had become immobile and you got up in pain. You were walking around in Amsterdam for almost 2 hours, and then you ended up in this guy's shop. For me, that's not a coincidence. That's Godcidence, what I always call it. That is totally Godcidence. You could have ended up in any other church shop in Amsterdam, and God had to take you all the way from Nigeria. It wasn't even America. It wasn't UK. It had to be Amsterdam. Again, see how God does things. You met Alex. Now, what Alex he was able to explain, break it down for you, and you took it on. And you used this wellness even back in Nigeria. And in doing that, you then also began to walk the walk of purpose, because there's an emptiness in us until we find purpose. That's God ordained, God given purpose. And I hear you when you say that things, like partying and all those things that you used to do, you didn't even enjoy them after some time, totally disconnecting from them. And again, just emphasizing when God steps in, when we begin to walk in, that's God ordained life that we have been into. I love when you said you went to church, you went to the priest, you knelt down, they prayed, because I always say it is not a religion, it's a relationship. It's something that we have to, discover ourselves. And you also even said you were already in it, you were already journeying in it, but you didn't even realize.
So here's the thing. Personally, I believe that when you remain connected to your maker, whether you like it or not, God will flog you into your purpose.
Ribaya, love that. God will flog you into your purpose. Please, someone comment that for me. Even me, I want to write that one down. My
Whether
God,
you or not. In
whether you
my own,
like it or not.
in my own case, I was whipped into my purpose.
Wow.
That bunion surgery that I had wanted to do, that I said no to, that I now ended up doing, now opened the door for my eyes now to be open. Now, what do I mean? When I got into wellness, I did not realize I was in my purpose. I just realized that now I am set. I am happy. People will come
Wow.
to me. I have a small room inside my house. People will come. I will diagnose them like a medical doctor
Come on.
based on my own. And I will
Come on.
share my story with them. And I will heal them with my juices. In fact, after drinking my juices, they came and shared with me. What I married for 11 years, no child. I said, I am not a medical doctor,
Come on.
but I know the efficacy of what I sell. I know the efficacy. And if the way I tell you to use it, it is going to cleanse you. But pray and hope on God for a child. That woman came back later. 5 months, she was pregnant. Another
Oh,
one,
wow.
three. I cannot tell you
Wow.
the story with the juices. So now, what am I saying? So when you find your purpose, you now see that you are helping people. Money wasn't the object for me. Now,
Come on. Money is not the object. Please type that, somebody.
I was
Come on.
very excited. I was very happy helping people. They will come. Some mornings when you come to Akiadeshola, the traffic will be jammed because people are waiting here from 6 a.m. to collect their juices. Okay?
Wow.
And it was phenomenal. In fact, right now, I have a guy. He's one of the oldest clients that I have. He's a South African guy. He has been drinking my juices for the last 9 years. He even brought in his mother from South Africa to come here so that I can help and sort her out. Well, so tell me, how did I have that knowledge if it is not God's purpose? Okay, so
Wow.
God finally pushed me into. Sure, you've been going around. You've been going around looking for your purpose. You said that you're here to do something. You cannot find it. Abi, you're wearing high heels, dressing around in Lagos. It now pushed me into it with a
Wow.
bunyan surgery. Okay, so
Come
now,
on.
even living it,
Come on.
I hadn't gotten into the body of knowledge that could help me now identify and acknowledge that this is actually my purpose. All I know is that I'm now happy. I'm fulfilled. I will wake up at 2 a.m. I'm guiding them in the kitchen, titrating, labeling, packing, moving. It was a factory line. And I loved every second of it. And this kept going on and on and on for over 15 years until last year. And this is the most important part. A girlfriend of mine came and looked at me in this house and says to me, all this coaching you have been doing, why don't you just go and get a certificate? Let us know your record. Looked at her. I said, me doing coaching? What are you talking about? He said, well, that's what you're doing all your life. I said, me? I've been coaching. I haven't been coaching. He said, this thing, all these people you coach, everywhere we go, you look at them, you diagnose them, look at their stomach. And in the next 6 months, if you don't stop eating rice, if you don't do this, do that, you will be diabetic. And true, they'll become diabetic. And you say you're not a coach. You know what you're doing anymore. Go and get certified.
Wow.
And that was why and how this last leg of the journey now started. Now,
Wow.
Ronken, I'm going to tell you that in
So
the
this
last,
last leg that started last year, you were 68, man.
yes, I was 68.
Okay.
However, after this girl now spoke her language and left, I now said to myself, she's making sense. Right? So I said, okay. I now went on the internet and I found a coaching school, registered, and started. Now I started. Sure, you know now, me, I'm a fancy woman, very, very fancy. They say Apple get phone, I buy. They say get iPad, I buy. Apple get laptop, I buy. I had all of them. The only one I was using, maybe laptop and phone, and occasionally I'll carry my Apple. You know, when you're checking in at the airport, you just take, you bring out your laptop. iPad is an Apple. I had all these gadgets. Everything was ready for this course. Everything was ready. Now, for the first 6 weeks, every day, I was with my Igbo brothers, specialists in computer and laptop and internet. And oh yeah, show me this one. How do you do this? Come now, Emeka, where are you going? Come and show me. Emeka will come. Mama, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. I say,
Wow.
so how do I download this one? How do I do this one? They taught me.
Wow.
I went every single day. I went into this journey with everything I had in me.
Wow.
And for 1 year, there was nothing that I did not do that concerned coaching. And I was not tired one bit. If you recall, there were some courses that we had in Nigeria with the Nigerian Academy. So I was straddling two walls. I had an American Academy in coaching. I had a Nigerian Academy, right? And the head of the Nigerian Academy, Dr. Larry, called me and says to me, when do you want to start this year? I said, no, me, I'm not in a hurry. What? I will learn it. Just give me the whole of the year. He said, Mama Tildy. I said, no. Me, I want to open my mouth and talk coaching now. I can't just come and talk. I don't talk like that. So I immersed myself in this journey. Took my time. Sometimes during the Nigerian courses that will be 9 a.m. at the time, it will be 2 a.m. in America.
In America, yeah.
in the bathroom at 1 a.m., having a hot shower in the middle of winter so that I can join class for 2 o'clock. Okay? So now, that's living my purpose. When you find your purpose as you start living your purpose, everything becomes easy. I have not been sick for 1 day in the last 1 year. When I wasn't living my purpose, it will catch me. Rain will fall, I will sneeze. Do you understand? But since I started this journey of now getting the knowledge to live the best of my purpose, I've been the best I have ever been, the fittest. So here is the thing. What are you passionate about in life? Go and download your passion and look at your passion again, because that might be your purpose. It might seem like nothing. I remember when I started juicing, Lagos was shaking. They were shaking. Did you hear? Elizabeth Jibuno is doing juicing. I owned it. Before they said it twice, I will go and market myself. Do you have any problem? I can help you. And did you see your eyes are not pale? I can help you. I was not shy.
That's what I wanted to bring out, ma. So why they would, so some people might not fully understand. So you're not just, and this is not blowing your trumpet, man. We're talking about a highly successful woman who has had her own museum. So you're well known in the arts industry. You have a master's in. I was trying to read. What is it again, ma? History.
I have a master's in museum and gallery management. However, I managed the tallest building in Africa, the Nitel building, for 14 years. So I was in real estate and I excelled in real estate. But it still was my purpose.
Wow.
I took the museum out of a bedroom closet and made it the institution that it became. But it wasn't my purpose. I was living it. Very successful. Oh, the real estate gave me tons of money. Very, very successful. But it wasn't what God wanted for me.
Thank you.
God positioned me in a place where I can help humanity.
Come on. Where are you supposed to be positioned? Please help me type that question. Are you where God wants you to be? Please, you've heard Mama. Until she found purpose, real estate, making money. That museum was not the first museum, and you heard it for about 30-something years in Nigeria. So we're not talking. And still not finding purpose, but finding purpose in juicing. So you can see why people were saying, did you hear that Chief Mrs. Jubuno is now juicing?
Yes.
As we would, So you can see where people are coming from.
When I walk to a wedding, I'll look at them, they'll be talking about me. And I'll walk up straight to them. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about me then. And then, we didn't talk about you. I said, don't worry. Finish me. Let's just, digest it. Then I'll leave. Another person will come in. So they used to. So when they see me, they'll put their face down. If they're talking, they won't talk again. But I knew. But you see, the important thing is this. When you know who you are, you can't be intimidated by.
Come on.
Intimidated. I was never intimidated. I knew where God would put me. I knew. I knew for a fact. I knew. So the thing is this: what do you know? I knew. And I stayed.
What do you know?
I didn't let go. I stayed with it.
Come on.
I stayed with it.
Come on.
I never let go. And in staying with it, I enjoyed the ride.
Come on.
I didn't one day say to God, you haven't given me my purpose, I'm annoyed with you. I didn't one day say to the world, I haven't found what I'm looking for and I'm annoyed with you people. Never did.
Come on.
So in every situation that I found myself, and most of them were not, it wasn't all beautiful. Life is never all beautiful. It comes down. It will change. So sometimes life is great. Sometimes it is not. But in all of that, I was happy.
Wow.
And that is the secret of the woman that you see today. You know why? Because I remain the child of the Almighty. I know my Creator. My Creator has never disappointed me. There are times of lack.
Know your Creator.
I said, me, when the lilies in my own garden are well clothed, and you tell me
Come on.
there's nothing in me that is lack. Anything I put my hand in becomes champagne. Anything.
Bubbly and live.
Anything. So you see, what else can you gift God, your Father? What else can you gift him?
My God.
If not joy and celebration that he died for us. He gave us everything. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. Very, very fulfilled. Very. And nobody can stop me until the day my maker says it is time.
Come on.
But this 70 they are talking, is you talking 70? Me, I don't see 70. I see me getting.
We don't see 70.
I see me getting stronger and better in my journey every day. That's what I see. I'm not defined by age, and I'm not defined by what and who I was yesterday. I am defined by where I am today and what I have to give the world.
Come on. Please help me type. I'm not defined by age, but by what I am here to give the world.
So, Ronke,
my God.
This your session is very, very important, because some women get up and they say, I beg. So that man did me so, and they're going around telling negative stories. What did the man do you?
Come on.
What did he do you? Was he born with you? Was he born together with you?
Come on.
Is the man your purpose in life? Is the reason that you are in this world? Have you asked yourself? You just met the man. So, are you now going to tie your purpose to the man you just met? So he now says, the meeting is over. I don't want to meet again. And you now decide that you're going to die. So women have to take ownership of who they are. Listen, Ronke, during the years of my struggle, not finding myself, I was setting up companies. I set up a company called Ridgewood Wellness Sanctuary in 2013.
Wow.
The company today that I'm using for my purpose was set up in 2013. God went ahead of me.
Come on, yes.
I didn't need to struggle when I found my purpose. I didn't need to struggle. Everything was ready. In 2013, I formed a company and I called it a wellness sanctuary. People enter my house, the first thing they say, whoa, this place looks very peaceful. That's the word. So you see, we allow the world, right, to give us instructions that help us to detach from who we are and what we are here.
That's what I come for. Come on. Fetch it, man. Wow. Wow.
When you understand who you have a power in you that nobody can quench.
That's right.
It's the strength of a woman. I have another NGO called Strength of Women Initiative. So we I've never used it for one day. That NGO was formed almost 50 years ago. It's sitting there. That one is waiting for when the time the Lord will say, it is time for you to now get women to understand the strength that they carry, the strength that
Very inside.
is already and waiting. Do you know
Wow.
the power you carry, or you allow the world to diminish you? Do you know how powerful you are? You are the vessel of creation. You are the vessel for God to manifest his wholeness. And you
Please,
diminish
can we
yourself.
tie that? Can we tie that? We are the vessel
How can
that
I diminish?
Creator has made, and we
I,
diminish ourselves.
it is through me that God manifests who he is through me. And a woman will look at herself and say, they talked me down. Who is talking you down? You.
Come on.
When a woman understands who she is a bomb. Is a bomb.
Wow.
So I need to get women to understand who they are and what they are. And in knowing who they are, what they are, and finding their purpose, this world will become a much better, beautiful place. We are the one ourselves.
Wow. Mama, even me, I'm short of words tonight. Actually, am I short of words during my sessions? I am so digesting and internalizing. This is this this is deep. This is so deep. I feel like gathering like thousands and thousands of women in a place where you would just come and you would just speak life.
It will happen. It will happen. It's like,
You know,
of that, I know that for a fact. It will
it, it,
happen.
it, it must happen. You know, it
Because
must happen.
lack of
We,
knowledge. Women
we
are
speak.
dying.
I
And we
know.
are that are not important. We are focusing on this and we are focusing on that and that and that. All that is okay. All that is okay. But we are so much more
Much more. We're so much more. Wow.
than all of that. All that is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We are women. Yes, that's how we are
Yeah.
created. We've got
My
to be
God.
beautiful, to adorn ourselves. We have to. But, yeah, but you're so much more than that. We are also
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
the men also realize. They know it. They
Mm.
know. It's not
Mm. Mm.
that we know ourselves.
Mm.
And that's why they're very quick to diminish us.
Mm. Wow.
First, put them first. And let him go his hand, which is fine. And that is why, when I was growing up, then obviously starting life, and people will look at me and they get very, very intimidated and afraid
Intimidated.
of
Yeah. I can.
it,
Yeah.
right? So as I've gotten older, this is a rare day for me. Today, it's a very, very rare day. Because what I have done is now to become more feminine,
Mm.
smile,
Mm.
learn soft,
Be soft.
right? And then when it is time to deploy, roll out that package and deploy it and take it back again. Because otherwise,
Mm.
you cannot open the doors that you need to open as a woman. You
Mm.
can't. Because once you
Wow.
come with the energy of a woman, the man shuts the door in front of you. So
Yes, that's so true.
I was coaching a young girl last December. And I said to her, you're going places. She said, I know. Hey, auntie, these men in my office, They are not letting us. So I said, let me give you some secrets. Let me give you secrets.
Mm.
I said, beautiful. When you're going to a meeting, dress up very nicely. Beautiful. Show your beauty. Don't hide it. Show your beauty. But then walk into the meeting and sit down like a lamb. And let them talk. Let all the men talk. Don't contribute anything. Do not say a word. Just be noting everything they are saying. Note it, note it. This one said this, note it. This one said. Maybe they are saying, note everything there. When they now finish, when they now ask, is there any other matter?
Okay.
Then collect every opinion that they have contributed. Put it in a basket. Sift it. Use it. Throw it out. Bam, bam, bam. They now come out with your own. Finish the conversation not before they rise. When they are walking out in the corridor, it is your voice that will remain in.
Come on.
Is the manager in that top organization. She came here, she was weeping. She said, until they started fearing me. I said, they should fear you. I told you. But when you go and try to be a man, you try to compare with a man, wear trousers, you say, yes, they talk, you talk, they talk, you talk. Who are you competing with? Do you know who you are? Don't compete with a woman.
I love that, Kevin's leaders speak last. I totally agree.
Don't smile. I learned the hard way. When I was running, when I was in real estate, I learned the hard way. When I didn't do, I used to talk. I used to talk. I had to show them what I'm very knowledgeable. Man, after a while, I said, is that how it is? Okay. So they'll call a meeting. I'll go and find a new dress. And it's all right. I wear it, I'll put belts. I wear high heel, I'll carry bag. I'll be looking like a Barbie doll. Hello, Matt. Hello.
Please put Barbie doll. Somebody tell Barbie doll for me.
And I'll say, they'll be talking, I'll be looking. They'll be talking. I am managing director. They'll be talking, I'll be looking. Then when they finish, Mr. Chairman will say, so does the Madam Managing Director have anything to say? I said, not really. However, boom, 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 boom. The next day, the newspapers are writing about me. They are writing, they are writing, they are writing. She said this, she said that, she said this.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yes. You have to be wise like a serpent. If you want to get, don't speak. Just allow them to speak. You know your worth. You know who you are.
You know who you are. Thank you so much, Ma. I don't even know. Even me, I have to come back and watch. You're breaking up every Ma.
Are we back? Hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you now. It's still a bit, it's not clear, Grace, in terms of the image, but we can hear you. I already see one invitation for you. So let me see if you're going to invite Mama J for her achievers, you have to go through me. Eh? Mama, there's an invite waiting for you online already. It's my sister. So if you're going to invite Mama, you have to go through me. Eh? You have to go through me. You would. I think yes. You. As me say, you and Mama, you would really gel. You would really, really gel, Mama. This is one of our ladies, one of my sisters or aunties. But the two of you would gel. You have the same kind of energy. She's into. She's called I Achievers, Women of Wealth. So she works with. She shuttles between here and Nigeria. So I say you will give me commission on this one. Thank you so much, Mama. Wow, 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 wow. Even I'm busted. I need to come back and rewatch this because I don't have my notebook here. I need to take notes down. Chemist will be wise like a serpent and gentle like a dove. Absolutely know your worth. Thank you, Mama J, for sharing your story. Yeah, so we're learning here. I feel like, and we're going to do this, Mama. I believe that God is going to give us that platform. We need a room filled with women to listen to this. I remember that when I used to manage the Covenant Women in the UK, and we used to have over 500 women sitting in a meeting we used to have in June every year. Uh, I really, really, really am going to look for that opportunity because I just believe that so many women need to hear, and even men, to be honest. We've got people saying thank you for sharing. Let me just look as we round up. I know there were one or two questions. Okay, Sayemisi said, I'm inviting Mama to our High Achievers Women of Wealth event. That's fine, Ma. I'll get you her details. Caroline was saying, I was thinking that same thing. We're only 20 here. We need to be here. Yeah, that's fine. But a lot of people do come back and watch. We also put our interviews on YouTube and on Facebook. So we would definitely capture more people. I have to take ownership of who I am. What do I have to give to the world? There was a question I saw. Where are we supposed to be positioned? I just want to see if I can get that question up. Absolutely. Strengthening exercise is the best cure for joint aches. I started doing them. Sorry, ma, I couldn't hear you.
Hello?
Yes, I can, ma.
Okay. I think there was a question about whether I took supplements as well during my
Yes, I've just seen that. What
yeah.
is your diet like, ma? Do you use any supplements as well? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not a supplement woman at all. I find all my supplementation in nature. Okay, so I find that most of the supplements in boxes and bottles are all chemically manufactured. And what I did was to look up all the fruits and vegetables that God had provided in nature. And I eat from there to get all the supplements I need to support myself. However, here's what I say. A lot of us take food from nature provided by God, and we will carry it and go and abuse it in the fire and overcook it and cook it until all the nutrients that God provided have died. And then we eat it and we be beating our chest that we ate good food, and then we'll carry our money and go to the stores and buy supplements to supplement that bad food that we
Very
ate.
true.
If you eat right, if you understand how you must eat and you eat right, you do not need supplements. That's where I stand. That's where I stand.
And those your juices, because they're raw, isn't it? It's raw vegetables, not cooked. So you're directly getting the nutrients
Exactly.
into your
Here,
body.
here is the thing about the juices, because a lot of people have also queried the juices, okay? Because they are extracted juices from vegetables and a little bit of fruit. Extracted vegetables. So there is no fiber in it, okay? So
Okay.
it is not blended, so you're not going to get all the fiber from the vegetables. And however, you're not drinking it permanently. It is for a purpose. You use it to detox your
Yeah.
body, to clean out your body.
Mm.
It's like giving your clothes a dry clean. It's like having a spring cleaning for your home. You do
Yeah.
the same for your side. You detox. So you can do it for 7 days, you can do it for 10, you can do it for 21 days, you can do it depending on why you want to have a detox. When anybody sits in front of me and they tell me that they are here to drink my juices, I ask you why. Why do you want to drink my juices? And once you tell me that you want to lose weight with it, I will not juice for you. I'm sorry.
Mm.
Side effect of the juicing is that you will lose weight. But that's not the reason why I will give you the juice. So I have this running battle. Some people have walked out. They say if you drink Mama SG juice, you will lose weight. Yes, you will lose weight, but that's not why I'm doing it. I know what it
Mm.
I know how it will change your body. I know how it will change your eating habits. I know.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
by the time you have not eaten any food for 14 days and you are glowing
Yep.
and you are looking best that you have ever looked, you will now understand that you have been abusing food,
That's right.
that you understood
Mm.
food and how your approach to food, your relationship with food should be. The detox period does that for you. And most people
100%.
stayed on that path. After detox, you find them, they are doing well. And I don't call you to come back home. Go and do it. I'll even tell you what, go and do it. What I is for an explosion to happen so that people can be well. Let us get out from the sickness industry and get into the wellness space. If
Mm,
our world will be a better place. So for me, that's understanding my purpose.
yeah. I mean, I can attest to that. I know when I did it for about a week, people were asking me that what
Yeah,
cream did you use? What did you, I mean, my skin was literally glowing.
yeah,
And that was just based on the recommendations that you gave in terms of what to use for the juicing. I can't even imagine if it was exactly your own juice, because your
exactly.
juice is from organic. They're not processed. They're
And I
fine organic.
have herbs in it. There's a lot
Yeah,
of herbs. So my
herbs,
business
yeah.
have herbs as well. And then the fat
Mm,
is very, very low. It's incredible.
yeah.
Incredible.
Mm. Well, we've got to round off, Ma. We've gone, I said we won't exit when 9:30. So thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for the session today. I know somebody asked about, thank you so much for the information. Would be interested to hear the relevance of other health factors in decreasing menopause symptoms as well as yam water. So we'll do that some other time, Ma. And I can get, we'll probably just invite you back. Or you can so I think it was Amaka Nwoga. Please feel free to reach out to Mama J directly afterwards the session to just find out more information. So Mama J, how can people reach you, please? I'm sure your Instagram handle is here so people can follow you, but just to reiterate it for us as we round up. Yeah.
So you can find me on Instagram on Wellness with Mrs. J. I'm on LinkedIn as Elizabeth Chibono, Facebook also as Elizabeth Chibono. But my handle, Wellness with Mrs. J, is where it happens. Thank you.
Thank you, man. So she's working well, it happens. Thank you so much, oh my guys. It's always a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you, everyone, for showing up, for coming, and those who are going to be watching later. Thank you so much. Thank you, my Sweeney. I saw your daughter was here, Mama Dish. She was just healing you all around.
Saw her.
So, so lots of thank you. So true. Do you have a book on this, Ma? Don't worry, the book is coming.
Cookies.
The Daily Obi has asked, where can you buy your juices, Matt? Teniola is asking. So just reach out to her. She's dropped her handle, so please reach out to her. So she'll be able to cold press. So vegan like diet. Yes, it is. Thank you, Ronke, for this dead food. Every woman must listen to Mama J. I totally agree. Please invite her physically. Yes, we'll bring her to London physically. Don't worry. Thank you, ma, for sharing.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you, everyone, and thank you so much,
Yeah,
Mama J.
bye.
God bless you. I love you,
Love you.
love you, love you.
Bye.
Okay, ma. Thank you,
Bye.
everyone. See you next month, same time. Bye.